6-3 the final. Nats take the series. We'll go for the sweep today at Oracle Park. And don't worry, we got some technical difficulties for Shasky, but he can hear me. That's all that matters right now. We'll get through it. I think we'll get through the season. I mean, it's June 10th. Adrian Houser fails yet again to get through the fifth inning. 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. And, that bargain bin hunting for your fourth and fifth starters has not quite worked out for the San Francisco Giants this year. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is a beautiful day in the Bay Area. It's going to be toasty the next 2 days. Stay hydrated, stay safe out there, have some fun. If you're just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for summer vacation, hitting the beaches, doing what you got to do. We appreciate you joining us here. And you know how to get involved. The number is 888-957-9570. Bryce Eldridge goes deep yesterday, Joey. 17-game hitting streak now for Jung Hoo Lee, who has 2 more hits, 2 ribbies for him yesterday. He has been incredible. Maybe the best player in all of baseball since coming back from the IL. But we're reacting to yet another loss. Good morning.
Good morning. Look, it's just this team. They can't cash in when they have opportunities. They leave runners on base. Couple of misplays. I thought that Jung Hoo Lee misplayed that ball in right field. Though he's been excellent, I don't want to pin anything on him. Arise continues to just mash, and then you look at Devers and you look at Adames, and they've been just ice cold here for about 2 weeks. So it's a little alarming. Matt Chapman, though, looking good. Bryce Eldridge's at-bats, to me, are the saving grace of this team right now. And they've had opportunities to cash things in and have big innings and big moments and string together wins. And whether it's the bullpen, whether it's the 2-out hitting coming through, it just seems like that big watershed moment is just not happening for this team.
0 for 5 with the bases loaded. 0 for 5. And you heard it on the call last night. I thought it was just a great synopsis from one Dwayne Kuiper on the call for NBC Sports Bay Area. Well, Giants leave the bases loaded. What else is new? That's the theme of the season so far. 14 games under 500 right now. Not even halfway through June, Joe. And again, we talked about it yesterday, that this team has been unable to seize momentum when it looks like they string together a couple series, maybe a series here, a series there. They just can't seem to get the ball rolling. And it's not like the Washington Nationals are a juggernaut. They're 35-33. But when they see a team like the San Francisco Giants on the schedule, they're looking like, oh, wait, we can get back on track now. And that's the worst place to be as a professional sports team, is when the opposition is now looking at you and saying, oh, great, the Giants are coming up? Okay, we can get back on track with our franchise. And maybe the Cubs are feeling that way, although the Cubs just lost to this Giants team over the weekend. So who the hell knows? I'm with you on the Devers thing, and this has kind of been the bugaboo of the San Francisco Giants the last 2 seasons. They can't get complementary play across the board. If one guy's struggling, another guy's doing well. If it's Devers doing well, Jung Hoo Lee's struggling. If it's Adames doing well.
Can I do this, Steiny, on you?
Do it.
That's the hallmark of a bad team.
There you go.
I don't want to be that guy.
No, it's true.
You just pop the balloon, but
Joe, they're 14 games under 500. I mean, they're not good. The hallmark
of bad teams are, we do these 2 or 3 things well, and then these 2 or 3 things awful. And right now, situational defense has been questionable. Pitching, obviously, is just, you watched Dylan Smith last night.
Yeah.
Everybody, quite frankly, you guys all watched him come into that game.
Yeah.
That's who we were opining for instead of Keaton Wynn.
Didn't give up a run.
Well, no. He gave up a run, just not his run.
Yeah, exactly. Not an earned run. What? We got to chill. I'm reaching for positives here. He did give up the. He gave up the wall. You got to walk. Got to strike out. The ERA is still 0.00. Tristan Beck comes in and gives. Yeah, Mr. Brightside. Let's go. That's well done, Carter. That's well done. We're searching, Joe. I'm searching for positives. And
Eric Miller too. And
he might be cooked.
Well, we have to have a conversation. If you're going to be outwardly effervescent guy who talks smack to the bullpen, talks back to the dugout or the other team.
Dalton Rushing, who, by the way, had one of the dirtiest slides I've ever seen yesterday.
You have to be able to back it up. And it just feels like to me, you're a little young. You're probably not going to remember this reference, but he went to Cal and he played for the Giants on 2 different occasions. But Tyler Walker, way back in the day, I'd call him the sweat bomb. And he would go out there and he'd just be sweating profusely because the second he got onto the mound, trouble was happening, meaning guys were getting walked. He was giving up hits. And that's where we're at with Eric Miller. And I want to like the guy. I want to think that he has good stuff. Yet every time he's out there, he's gas canning the other team and lighting up a rally for them. And so he's instant offense for the other team. I mean, dare I say Brubaker is one of the trusted arms.
He is. No, like legitimately, he is
trusted.
He is.
Brubaker.
I mean, he had 2 strikeouts yesterday, gave up an earned run, but his ERA 3.18, and he's been kind of mop-up duty at times this year for the Giants, and they've needed him to save the bullpen the rest of the way. But, we had the conversation a lot yesterday about Tony Vitello's mistakes in game 1, how it trickled down, Logan Webb, all of that. At the end of the day, the reason this team is 14 games under 500 is not because Tony Vitello. It's because of the way this team was constructed. And I do think...
Well, give me a letter grade for Devers right now.
Oh, Devers?
He's just this year.
This year, he's getting a C. He's a C. Maybe a C minus, quite
I was going to say...
C minus?
Are you going C in terms of, like, his resume and your expectations, or a C on, like, has he been one of the better Giants?
If I was going expectations, I would say it's been like a D almost. If you had, like, legit expectations that this guy who's making $300+ million is going to turn into the hitter he was with Boston, yeah, I think even an F might do because he's batting .233 right now, Joe. It's June 10th. He's been ice cold at the plate.
When was the last time he came through with a big RBI, sack fly?
Boy, it's been a minute.
2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I mean, he's had nice home runs against the Cubs over the weekend, but like a clutch hit? I mean, he's searching for one right now. It's been weeks. So you asked the question, like Devers... He's kind of skating by this year.
100%.
We don't talk enough about how awful he's been given the contract and the trade you made for him. When I see Kyle Harrison doing what he's doing, when I see James Tibbs in the Dodgers organization rising up the ranks, like Devers was supposed to be the savior is strong because you can't have one guy be the savior of an organization.
But you got to handle your business.
But you were supposed to build around this guy, and it's hard to build around someone, Joe, that's not going to be producing like you thought you were going to. The guy that I want to build around right now is the guy that we all hope to build around, Bryce Eldridge.
Well, Bryce Eldridge
looks like a guy I want to build around.
He's outplayed him in the last couple of weeks, and I want him
500.
I want him to play more infield. Look, I think today is a logical day to give either Raffy and or Willie Adames a day off.
So they have 2 days off in a row?
Yeah, absolutely. I would do that. I'm just looking at the Raffy deal, and I just want to focus on him for a little while.
Sure.
He's got an NBA feel to him. And here's what I mean by that. When I look at the NBA, I think one of the issues with the culture of the NBA is the consumer feels like a guy signs a mega deal and then all of a sudden doesn't care as much as we want them to for how much they're paid. And all of the extra responsibilities that, look, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, when you take an 8 to 10 year deal in any sport, I'm expecting certain things from you. And you could say, oh, no, all I want you to do is produce and hit. That sounds good. That sounds good. But when you sign someone to an 8 to 10 year deal, there's a level of prestige. There's a level of leadership. There's a level of professionalism. There's a level of maintaining your body that I expect. And when I look at Raffy Devers, there's a little Zion in him. If you get where I'm going with that.
No, I absolutely do.
There's a little bit of I'm content and I only really care about just hitting my numbers at the end of the year. There's a little, it's like an orb of selfishness wrapped around him.
Wow.
I have to play first base.
Yeah.
I got to play in the field. I actually think I'm a third baseman. Boston's stupid. I think I'm a third baseman, but don't look at me because I couldn't maintain my own health, in terms of my size and my weight. And also, don't look at how horrific I am when it comes to actually putting in the work and playing defense. Oh, and whenever I struggle, I'm the first out of the clubhouse. That's not really leadership. That's got a little James Harden to it.
It's not a bad comp.
Oh, no.
So, even James Harden was an MVP.
Look, you might say I'm being a little harsh, but this is just my opinion. if I'm giving out, and this is something I've learned, I think before the Giants could finally land someone on one of these 8 to 10 year deals, it was like, hey, we got to just overpay and get somebody and bring them in. And yeah, I'm wrong. Like I'm wrong on that. You got to be very selective on these 7, 8, 9, 10 million, 10 year, hundreds of millions of dollar deals. Who you pick, who you give that money to has to be the right individual on like 6 or 7 levels. And I would have done the Raffy deal. I'm probably still doing the Raffy deal. It maybe speaks to more of my desperation as an organization and my lack of ready-made Major League Baseball talent and how many times I've struck out in other trades and primarily through free agency. But I look at Raffy and I look at Willie and I think it's a cautionary tale on really, really, really be selective on who you give $7, $8, $9, $10 million deals to. And for different reasons on both players.
888-957-957 is the number. We are coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Laughing Monk, righteously brewed in San Francisco. And the Morning Roast is presented by San Francisco Fire Credit Union, banking for heroes and anyone who wants to be treated like one. We got Dave Fleming joining us later in the show today, Joe. 820, voice of the Giants for NBC Sports Bay Area and R95 The Game Giants Insider. Can't wait to get his thoughts on what he's seen so far. And if he's disappointed in what Raffy Devers has done.
Can I ask you this one?
Absolutely.
Like, I always think about this. Like, when they gave Posey the richest contract in the history of the Giants, that was Sabian.
What year was that?
Was it 2011, 12? Something like that.
Yeah.
Look that up, Sam. Was there any doubt he was going to put in all the work and maximize who he was?
No doubt.
Okay. Was there any doubt that he was a guy you wanted young guys looking up to?
No doubt about it.
Was there any doubt that he was a guy you wanted to have influence on your franchise internally, externally?
No doubt.
Was he also a guy that you wanted to put on posters and have your entire fan base look up to?
Absolutely. Be on commercials, all of that.
Now, look, is Posey a unicorn in that sense where he ticks off so many different boxes? Sure. Like, he's never going to say or do anything that you would find controversial in any way. I think Willie Adames checks a lot of these boxes, actually. Is he as good as Posey?
No.
Not even close.
No.
But he does check. Like, let's be fair. Like, I think Willie checks a lot of these boxes.
You understood why Posey gave him that money because maybe Posey saw something of himself in Willie.
I can see some leadership qualities, playing with joy, how he conducts himself, availability. I don't question his work ethic. I don't necessarily question his availability. I think he's in great shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he is a good teammate. I think he's locked in emotionally.
Doesn't make excuses. Yeah.
Am I frustrated with the performance? Sure. But like the dude and like what he brings to the table, I think I can understand why they gave him the money. Even if I know, it's an overpay. I can feel it. The Raffy thing is a little more perplexing to me. And there's just something, I can't put my finger on it. Again, I'm contradicting myself. I would have still done the deal. I still would have done the deal. For even knowing how great Harrison's been, I'm of the nature, I don't think they were ever going to develop Harrison the way the Brewers have. And I don't know, maybe this is who he is. Maybe this is not who he is, and he falls back down a little. I never thought that the Giants were going to be able to develop him that way. But I'm looking like Eldridge, Devers, Eldridge, Devers, Eldridge, Devers. And if you're asking me today, if there's any way where Raffy is stunting or blocking opportunities or development for Eldridge for this year, next year, and beyond, I mean, you have to have the conversation of moving off Raffy, like straight up.
Joe, we're coming up on the 5-day anniversary, or 5-day, 1-year anniversary in 5 days. June 15th, 2025, the Giants traded for Rafael Devers for Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, prospects James Tibbs III, and José Bello. All right. Almost a year later, Giants fans, you still making that deal? Are you still making that deal? I know what you're saying, Joe, and I know you still think that Raffy Devers could be what he was in Boston, and maybe not even to that degree, but still be a really, really good player for the San Francisco Giants. Like, and we talked about this all season long, like hitters to his standards, what he means to hitting in baseball. He's been a top 10 guy for most of his career.
When was the last time he was that?
Exactly.
2
years ago.
Plus years ago, 3 years ago.
So maybe I need to start and stop comparing him to what he was with Boston and just start saying what he is here in San Francisco and what he's been in San Francisco. It's been a disappointment. He's been an absolute disappointment. Like, no one could call in today and defend the Rafael Devers trade right now as it being a success. You can't defend it right now.
Last 3 weeks, who has had better at-bats? Just eyeball, watching. Bryce or Devers?
Bryce Eldridge.
I mean, he had one where he drove it down the line yesterday on an inside pitch. Like, they're really trying to pound him inside with a variety of looks. And it just feels like he is just on it now.
You know what's been so refreshing? It's not even the hits. It's not the power. It's the plate discipline and the walks, Joe. Like, that for me, that was the big bugaboo about Bryce, right?
Zone.
And this is a larger conversation I want to get to at some point today. And Sammy brought it up like, hey, maybe the Giants and Vitello knew what they were doing when it came to developing Bryce right now, guys. We want to give him a little credit for how he's looked. For as much as we want to crush the guy, maybe they did the right thing.
Well, did we bully him into playing him?
Maybe the team itself forced the hand because they've been so awful. So, like, there's an aspect of that. You're like, okay, you guys aren't going to do diddly poo. I'm going to play the kid every single day, right? And he played yesterday, DH'd after playing first base in the first game of this series. 2 hits for him, the jack, 2 walks. He's batting 300, Joe. 300.
The Atlanta had a big injury yesterday. I don't know if you saw Acuna walking off the
hamstring.
Like, I just think the Giants are in a really intriguing spot where there could be some teams that really think they can win it all that might just bite on one of your guys. And I think you almost owe it to yourself to do it.